So basically, in the presentation also, you can understand our mission. Mission is to become a multi-brand outlet where we can experience the minds of India and shop the current trend at the best possible prices. This basically means that there are a lot of brands, domestic brands in India, who are doing pretty well and focusing on the recent trends. And what we do, we club up those brands, we bring those articles under one roof, and the people can have access to the variety. Like a person who enters KC retail, he can get a little taste of Ludhiana, a little taste of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu and Kolkata under one roof. So there is, I mean, this also helps us achieve a great conversion rate at our stores. Our vision is to reach the middle and lower price focused households who have not experienced the latest fashion. With the upcoming digitalization, I would say YouTube and Instagram, they have taught people to, what is the latest going on trend. But the only challenge they face is that those trends are not available at affordable prices for them. We have a lot of population who have a family household income of just 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees. And when I say a household income, that means all the members of the family are working, and the sum of everything that they can earn is just 50,000 to a lakh rupees. So we are basically trying to serve those population which cover like the huge masses. That is the biggest chunk of our nation. And this is basically a basic idea. Like we are making fashion affordable. It is also a tagline. At KC, we have a lot of product range, like starting from a basic garment or innerwear, I would say, and we go up to a garment like for ethnic wear. Like if a groom is getting married, he can buy articles from us. But yes, when I say a groom, there are a number of times when there are few people who go for shopping for the experience. So we focus on that experience as well, so that when a person comes, he's treated properly, irrespective of the fact that which class does he belong to. So that is a huge difference, which ensures a retention buying and a reputation buying at our stores. This is just about the management. Like me and Kajal Khanna, she's my wife. She has a experience in Zara. She worked with Zara as a store manager for around 2 to 3 years. Currently, we have 7 stores. One is in Ghaziabad, Lal Kuan. The second is in Muzaffarnagar. The third is in Khansa Road, Gurugram. It's near DAV school. And the fourth one, Turabnagar. This is also in Ghaziabad. It is one of the biggest market in Ghaziabad when I say. In Noida, Sector 63. We have one in Kanpur, Delhi. One in New Ashok Nagar, Delhi. These all stores have an approximate size of 5,000 square feet. Initially, I mean, we have a store as big as 7,000 square feet and as small as 4,200 square feet. In Noida, Sector 63, this is our headquarters where we have a warehouse from where all the products are segregated, allocated, and then transferred to the respective stores. So when I talk about the fashion and accessories that we offer, if we talk about the major divisions, men, women, kids. In kids, we cater all boys, girls, and infants. You can also find articles like car seats and chairs or basic gifting articles for infants, where we have 11-piece set, 9-piece set. Generally, that is a very high, it has a very high churning ratio. The only reason when an infant is born, majority of the population, the first gift that they can think of is to buy let's buy a clothes for them or buy a set for them, which is like very useful. And the only thing is they have a very small lifespan for a person. Like the garment is good, but the kid, they grow up very fast, I must say. In men, we cater blazers, denims, jackets, trousers, vests, shirts, t-shirts, shorts. I mean, if you come up with a clothing article, you just name it and we'll surely have it. And when a person comes, he can find at least 200 to 300 options for just t-shirts alone. Similarly, when a person comes to buy a shirt, he can have at least 200 to 300 options of shirts. If I talk about the retail industry market in India, it's currently valued at 65.2 lakh crores. And apparels, I must confidently say, it is the third largest segment in the retail industry. It has currently it occupies 7.9% share of the market, which is a huge figure if we consider the 65.2 lakh crores. This is basically the growth span. If I talk about the online market, yes, in the past few years, the online market has grown at a higher rate when compared to offline. But there's one thing that needs to be understood. The online market held a space this small when it talk about the fashion industry in India, whereas the offline had the majority space. But the best part to learn about is that the online has seen a growth of 90% nearly. At the same time, the offline has also grown up to 50%, which means that the offline trade is not deteriorating, it is also increasing. You can just say even a 50% add on for a figure like 1000 means 1500, but a 90% growth rate for a figure like 500 is still 900 rupees. So you can understand that it's not just the growth rate, but also the size. After you reach a certain size, the growth rate depletes. So that's the only reason the offline market might have seen a slower growth rate compared to online. But the market is booming, and we can surely say that. I mean, even if I talk about myself, we when we started the retail stores on 15 July 2019, the first summer season we faced a COVID lockdown. In the second season also we faced a COVID lockdown. In the third season we were actually able to entertain the customers, even considering these drawbacks. I mean, these we overcame those obstacles, and today we are a profitable company, which I feel is more than enough to come up to the financials, like whether you'll be able to earn from the segment or not. So why should you partner with us? I would say the major reason would be that if somebody comes up with an idea to open a retail store, if he wants to enter the fashion market of India, the biggest challenge that a person faces is that the trends are changing every day. And when I talk about purchasing articles, even if you come up with 10 options of an article, when a customer sees them, there are so many options and the people have so many preferences, he'll still come up with a simple answer. Instead of saying he doesn't want to buy, he'll say, I don't like the design. So basically, when you partner with us, you'll be able to have access to nearly, I mean, almost all the articles that you can imagine. We are already manufacturing so many things. We are specialized enough that we buy raw threads or cotton from the mills, and then we process it and we are selling the ready-made garment. So it's like when I talk about pricing, since we are buying thread and then giving up a garment, there are a lot of margins in between which get consumed up because of our huge process. And it's very comfortable for us. Like even if a person wants to compete with us, that other person, it's a huge investment for anybody to come up with an idea where he can buy a thread and just sell the garments. So that much investment is not practical in today's scenario. We reached such a state just because of time. We started in 87, and with years we were able to grow ourselves and have our roots, penetrated deep in the industry. So basically what you get is a good purchase team and experience in marketing. So if I go by point, it'll be a one-stop destination for you if you want to buy, I mean, for any clothing or home needs. At the same time, we'll be able to provide you the best articles, knowing that we specialize in almost all the divisions. So we are a technology-driven organization. And at the same time, we have policies for the customers that are already drafted based on our experience of 30 years, which is something you cannot learn even any college or university, or you don't have a book for saying. And it's a very investable model, seeing that if we can do it in 3 years, I believe anybody can do it, considering that further we are not going to face any more lockdowns. We are a proud Indian brand since we already have a domestic and international reach. And today we are successfully operating 7 retail stores. The first one was opened in July 2019. And this is the current approach that we are having. Our plan is to expand pan India. Our first target would be to take care of the northern region, where we have cities, I mean, the Delhi NCR region, Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Amritsar, Dehradun, Lucknow, Sonipat. Mainly, I would say, considering my 7 stores and the reach we are already having, I would say we have a similar customer base with us. So they'll be the easiest way to increase ourselves. And as soon as we grow further, we'll be entering the western, southern, and eastern markets of India. Now, if I talk about what kind of partners we are looking for people either who have a good financial bandwidth because it's a offline fashion store of nearly 4,000 square feet. Then you can understand it's going to need a huge chunk of investment. And it'll be very helpful if a person is already from the apparel background, or we can look up for persons or like real estate owners who already have an existing portfolio and they have a basic idea of running any retail business. So if they get an idea of how a retail business is run, we can come up with proper channels and trainings where they can be taught and the team can be made good enough to entertain the customers. Or we can look up for independent businesses because seeing today's scenario, everybody is already facing a challenge that they are not able to give proper time either to purchasing or sales. So if a good business is taking care of a person who can take care of his business, will take care of all the back end processes for him. The next is we are basically focusing on a FOFO model. It simply means franchise owned and franchise operated. The only reason we are taking care of, I mean, we are going for the franchise model is this is a model where the franchise owner has complete access to the store and he's also given a complete authority and he has a complete ownership over the work that is being done at the franchise. So basically, when I talk about this ownership, it comes at a cost. And the things that he enjoys are like he has complete ownership. He'll be taking care of the operations. The investments are by him. We'll be giving proper brand guidelines to the person so he can ensure a good and ethical output from the franchise. And the numbers we are getting, he's also able to come up with those numbers. The expenses will be in his control. That also gives him a benefit like if a person he already has a good team, or like every location has different expenses. When we talk about franchise, we take an average expense. So a person belonging to different areas, he can hire, I mean, a lot of expenses can be decreased by him if he can get those things done at a cheaper price. So they get a fixed commission against the sales. I mean, the process by which we'll work, he'll be already having access to the commission pre-hand. So when I talk about the roles and responsibilities, the franchisee, he'll be taking care of all the day-to-day operations. The only thing he has to ensure is that all the SOP guidelines are being followed and he ensures that the employees are motivated. We basically came up with an idea of providing good incentives as a part of the salary, in which if we want to hire a person for, let's say, 15,000, we give him a fixed salary of 10 to 11,000 and the rest is variable. That way, a person is always motivated and running towards achieving better goals. And even if a person earns a little more than 15, if he goes up to 16, 17, the only reason would be he's giving you extra sales. It's not just about the investment, but also the ownership that the franchise owner gets in the FOFO model. So, I mean, we can come up with a solution regarding it.
Sounds good. Yes, we can see the presentation now, and we can go ahead, Mr. Bharat.
Yeah, so I was suggesting like if a person partners with us, he'll have access to a lot of benefits. Like we'll be taking care of all the purchases for the person, and he can further screen those articles from his own perspective, like from the experience he's getting at the outlet that he owns. And at the same time, we'll be doing proper SEO for the person, and he'll get a technology-driven solution, like where we have our own knowledge website, like from where he can have access to all the SOPs and the training material with just the click of a hand. And at the same time, we have from like a 30 years experience in terms of the customer policies and what a person expects from the outlet and the brand. So we'll be giving him access to those ideas, which I believe no other book can, give any written draft certainty like how things work. And at the same time, it's a highly investable model with a good ROI. Considering we have already achieved a good ROI in the last 3 years, if we were able to be profitable, considering the COVID obstacle, I believe it'll be a good enough example for any person who's interested in the franchise. This is basically the areas we are focusing. At first, we'll be focusing on the northern region, where I mean, we already have 7 stores near the Delhi NCR region. Hence, our first preference would be northern India. And specifically, if I talk about UP, that is a very good market for us, considering there is a majority of population whose household income is less than nearly 50,000 rupees a month. And they are the regions who, they specifically fit in all the criterias of the articles we deal in. Then we'll move on to the Western India, Southern India, and Eastern India. So when I say why should a person partner with us, like we'll be looking for partners who have a good experience in the retail industry, and they might be already running a few retail stores, might be groceries or jewelry or any other business. But if they have a good retail experience, we'll be surely interested with them. This way, they can increase their portfolio, and they'll be able to enter a need-based market. I mean, when I talk about the markets of India, it's just roti kapda makan. At first, every person looks for fooding and necessities, that is foods and grocery. The second best market is the clothing market, where, and when I talk about the prices that we offer, so we are like we serve one of the biggest necessity of a country. And next, if I talk about, we'll be looking for investors who have a good financial backup with them, because a clothing store of nearly 4,000 square feet takes up a huge chunk of the investment that we talk about. And if the person has an experience in the apparel industry, that'll be very great for us, because that way the training will be done even sooner, and you might be able to attain results like in a lesser time span as well. And thirdly, we'll be looking for independent businesses. Today, seeing the challenges a person face in India, there are a lot of gaps. When I say, if you have to cater the purchases, at the same time, you have to take care of the sales part. So by partnering with us, he'll be able to have access to almost majority of the brands and catering in the different departments of the clothing market. So we'll be taking care of all the back-end processes and giving him proper support so he can focus all his time in the sales. Yeah. So when I talk about the FOFO model, so there are two separate options that we're looking for. A person can join us just as a unit franchise or a multi-unit franchise. In multi-unit franchise, he'll be having multiple stores that'll be directly owned by the person. And just like the query we just had, the only reason we personally prefer FOFO model as well is because when a person is putting in a lot of investment, with such a huge investment, a person should have, I mean, he should have complete ownership of the store. At the same time, the operations will be done by him. That ensures that there is complete transparency in our two businesses. So when we say we are providing something, whatever expenses are coming up, he's the first person to get access and understand why exactly these things come up and how exactly he's tackling them. So we'll be giving proper brand guidelines that can be maintained by the franchise. And then the expenses are done by him. So again, there's complete transparency in same. And what the person gets, he'll be given a fixed commission ranging from 21 to 27%, depending on the prices of articles. And lastly, what we'll be just getting the price of the product from the person. So when I talk about the franchise and the brand, in this, the franchise will be the responsibilities that a franchise will take care of are he'll be running the day-to-day operations. He'll adhere to the SOPs and the guidelines given by us. He has to ensure that the employees are kept motivated. We'll surely be providing options like we already have existing incentive plans and schemes by which the person is able to, I mean, keep the employees motivated in terms of the financial aspect. Like when a person is appointed at a salary of say 15,000, what we do, we keep the fixed part nearly 10 to 11,000 and the rest is variable.
based on the incentives. This way, we have multiple schemes of such a manner. In this way, even if a person earns higher than his salary, he is able to, provide you with better sales. So we'll be giving you access to those informations and structures, how exactly every profile in a store can be linked to the sales. The franchise has to make sure that those all the processes are implemented properly, and that the local marketing guidelines that we suggest or we help out with the new marketing mix, they ensure that local implementation is done. They have to maintain proper accounts and records, and a complete inventory management will be there. We'll be providing the ERP software. However, the franchise has to make sure that the physical and the ERP things match together. Next, the person has to make sure that good customer relations are there. When we talk about the brand, they have to help. We'll be there to help out the person in terms of the site selection, the licenses or permissions required to run out the business. However, the franchise will have complete control over the fact where the person needs to invest or what all changes are required. We'll be offering proper research and development support to the franchise. We'll also conduct marketing activities at a central level, in which the franchise store will also be a part of our marketing mix and our communications of different mediums. We'll also be setting up your Google shop, and we'll be making sure that the outlet is listed on the Google Maps. This way, the store becomes accessible, and it becomes very easier for any person to find you, even wherever your location is. When I talk about the pre-opening and post-opening guidelines, the support that we'll be providing you is like pre-opening, we'll be helping you in the development of the store, like what kind of site should be selected, how exactly the facility should be made, what marketing and promotional activities can be done to make sure that the day you open, at least people in a 1 or 2 kilometer radius are aware, okay, this day a new store is opening up, and they'll be coming up for the event visit. There'll be proper training for your team. We'll make sure that a person is dedicatedly deployed for your support for the initial 1 month period, where the franchise will be able to get access to. The team will have proper product training, how exactly they have to interact with customers, how exactly the business should be developed in the next few months. So, it's not like we'll be coming up with a store where you have to wait for 1 or 2 years just to get the returns. We'll be there to support you and provide you with proper support. So at least the daily operational expenses can be incurred in the initial period as well. Very comfortably. However, it will take a little time when we talk about the complete break even. The operational support that we'll provide is there'll be a proper software and accounting support for you, where we'll be giving you proper suggestions. And there's a operational manual. You'll be given a offline operational manual. At the same time, you'll be given a online operational manual. Next, post opening, there is proper product planning done at our end. We'll ensure that you are also a part of it. And based on your feedback, whatever products you are getting, we'll ensure that the respective changes are done in that. There is a percentage of stock in which we'll be there to support you with shuffling. Like if an article is not selling well at your outlet, and another outlet is selling that article at a greater speed, so we'll be shifting those articles to the other store and vice versa. And when it comes to marketing, we'll have proper awareness campaigns, and social media presence is there. We'll conduct events and sponsorship programs. For that, we can have a discussion. Like once you come up with a store, we'll give you different suggestions and how exactly different marketings can be done. So these are the key parameters. Like if I talk about the area required, the minimum area required would be 4,000 square feet, because we have nearly 15,000 diversity of SKUs at our stores. So I believe 4,000 is like the minimum space required to at least display them. And then the total investment would take nearly 38 to 40 lakh rupees. We have considered almost all the factors, and then the franchise fees would be just 8 lakh. The security deposit against stock will be 10 lakh rupees. This security deposit will make sure that considering that it's filled from time to time, any requirements that you come up with, we'll not have to wait for like the financials or just to send you the articles. There won't be long discussions. You'll be able to have access to articles as soon as possible. And there'll be a gross margin of 21 to 27 percent. The difference, I mean, mostly it will be 27%. It's just the articles below a sale MRP of 400 rupees. The gross margin will be less in those articles. The average ROI is 100% and the payback period is nearly 24 to 26 months. We'll be entering an agreement of 5 years. So that's it.